All women live under a man's rule. And you're delusional if you think you don't. Throughout history, you have been the weaker of the two sexes. And up until recently, you definitely needed men for everything.
Can you cite your sources on where you have the facts to show
it's
that?
Called history. Okay, stop right there.
Roles,
stop right there.
And dominant roles.
Stop right there. Stop right there.
Let me finish. Let me finish.
No, we're not going to play. No, we're not playing feminism today.
In which men hold primary power.
This is why y'all don't run.
This is why y'all don't run. Leadership.
This is why you don't run. This is why you'll never run. Number one, the only reason you even have feminism is because the patriarchy gave it to you. Every single right that you have right now was granted to you by men. It wasn't something that you fought for and gained.
Hold on, you don't get a cookie to say like to be grateful. No,
absolutely. We absolutely do get a cookie. We absolutely do get a cookie because if it wasn't for us, you wouldn't have running water. If it wasn't for us, you wouldn't have a home to live in. You owe every single thing you have. You owe it to men.
Is the patriarchy making women bad cooks? Is that
yes?
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know how it correlates. I don't know. Ask somebody else.
The point was this: if the patriarchy has all this power to make women do some bullshit, the patriarchy should have power to make you do what men want you to do. And what is happening is that y'all are traditional women. Every time you can take advantage of it, meaning being chivalrous, being having a leader, having a provider, having a man that can die for you, that take his jacket out of your back when it's cold, that do all these things. But when it comes to you being a traditional woman, we are not under the patriarchy. I'm a modern woman. I can do whatever the fuck I want.
What I'm saying is this: you still have women who want to live under a man's rule. Go find them. Every woman out here.
All women live under a man's
rule. Every woman is not modern out here.
All women live under a man's rule.
All these trad wives out here, y'all can't find one?
I will say this: traditional women are fleeting. Just being honest, even the traditional women still have a lot of modern views. We live in a modern world, so at the same time, your traditional woman probably still gonna work. She's still gonna have to contribute things outside of just traditional values that a normal, let's say, housewife would have to do. We are in the modern world, so there really no separation between the two of them anymore.
Women live under a man's rule, and you're delusional if you think you don't. Number one, the patriarchy was not set up to spite women. The reason why the patriarchy exists is because throughout history, you have been the weaker of the two sexes. And up until recently, you definitely needed men for everything. You would not have survived. So the only reason the patriarchy or the rule of men even exists in the first place is because you were in a situation where if you did not have men to hunt the animals, men to fend off other tribes, to fend off wild animals, all of those different things, you wouldn't have survived all the way up until recently, history.
Can you cite your sources on where you have the facts to show
it's
that?
Called history.
Okay, can you please cite the historical facts that without being under a man's rule that women would somehow do?
It's called history. And if I remember correctly,
a
second ago, you asked me not to interrupt you.
I just asked you to cite your source, but you can continue.
You asked me to not interrupt you, right?
You're right. But
okay.
I rock with Jazz, but at the same time, certain things don't have to be cited. I mean, come on. We know that men are stronger than women. We know that men are more athletic than women. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that if an animal is attacking a woman, the next person to save her is probably going to be maybe some form of a very physical guy. A guy that's way bigger than herself and stronger than herself. Can women do it? For sure. But the likelihood, it's going to be a guy. Most of the hunters out there are guys. Most of the fishermen are guys. Most people that train animals, guys. Just being honest, man. So some things don't need sources cited. We have two eyes.
So number one, what I'm citing is history. Even in this
of what? Country, like from what part of history?
Our history, human history.
Yeah. Okay, but can you give me a specific historical site of where you're saying that the only reason patriarchy came is because women were so unable to take care of ourselves that we needed men to rule us?
What is patriarchy?
Okay, well, patriarchy is generally understood as a social system in which men hold primary power
Okay,
and
stop right there.
dominate roles
Stop right there.
and
Stop right there.
dominant and
Wait,
dominant
stop right there.
roles.
Stop right
and-
there.
and
Stop right
Let
there.
me finish. Let me finish.
No, we're
Let
not
me-
gonna play. No, we're not playing feminism today.
This isn't feminism.
I'm asking
This
you
is
what
the
the basic.
definition.
No. We're not
Okay.
doing that. I'm asking you what the basic of patriarchy is. You
I'm
said the
giving it to
rule of
you.
men. You said
I'm
the
giving
rule,
it to
said
you.
the
Look this
rule
up,
of
babe.
men.
Look it
You
up.
said the rule of men. So let's stop right there for a second.
I didn't say that.
How
If you will
did
let
men-
me,
How
I didn't say anything about rules. You're not listening. I never said anything about rules.
How did men come into the position of being the rulers?
Okay, so like I said, it's
See, people don't want to admit the first form of rulership is going to be force. And it is what it is. Most men, we definitely protect our women, but when it comes down to how men used to take power, it's going to be by force. Who's the stronger one? That's how men usually fight it out.
understood as a social system in which men hold primary power.
This is why y'all don't run
dominate
shit. This is why y'all don't run
leadership.
shit. This is why you don't run shit. This is why you don't run shit.
Let me clarify.
Shit.
Hey, Jazz, let me clarify it, friends.
You don't run shit.
What Angryman is asking you is that
you're more concerned.
I'm giving you the definition.
You're more concerned with I'm a woman and I'm not gonna let a man stop me from talking. You're more concerned with that than the actual conversation. What I'm saying
to give you what patriarchy literally means.
What I'm saying to
you. One second.
What I'm saying to you.
Hey, Angryman, 1 second. Hey, 1 second, friends.
Weird.
Angryman is one of those guys. Once he gets started, it's hard to stop. But he's passionate. But yeah, y'all gonna have to come correct.
Ridiculous. This is ridiculous.
Jazz. Hey, Angryman, 1 second.
You asking me to give you a definition?
Hey. How did men got that power? How did they get it?
Well, because I believe they got that power because they were the brawnier species. So they felt that women wouldn't be able to defend themselves if they were to control them.
It's not.
Y'all saw she ran around. Jazz, don't do that now. Come on. We know that men and women have always coexisted with each other, and women have just fell into that role. We're designed different. And Miss Leosha down here, Satchit, is grubbing on something. She's been munching this whole time.
Because if that's the case, why not rule over other men?
There's no
if that's not the case,
why not rule over men? Men do rule over other men. See, this is what I mean by
in the same way that you rule over. If that was the case,
men do rule over other men. What are you talking about?
Okay, but what I'm saying is, but men were able to have access and autonomy and were able to vote and have rights.
Not all of them.
Way before women did.
No,
women did though, right?
Stop. No. First of all, you don't know. See, this is what's funny about this. You're asking me to cite my sources. You don't even know history. All men were not able to vote. Back in the day, only men that were
autonomy and
only men.
Let me insert this real quick. A lot of men were slaves.
Only men that were landowners were able to vote.
Yeah.
And all throughout history, there are so many instances where men, if they were not up to par as men, they didn't have the same rights as other men. This is where you get eunuchs and certain shit like that.
Let me look that up real quick.
You're bugging right now.
Hey, Jazz, I save you time. Jazz, I save you time. Men only got the right to vote on the 19th century. Most men wouldn't able to vote. One second, please. Just like woman in mass couldn't vote, but men, there was a very short, very small amount of men that actually were able to vote, and those men led over the peasants, the feudal lord, the man of power. So everybody, one second, let me just correct. Everybody was under patriarchy. Everyone was under patriarchy.
This is why.
What I'm saying is this. If it was about humanity, well, give me a second. Let me respond to Fatty. Thank you. If it's about humanity and justice for everybody, when all men were able to vote.
Wait. No, I didn't say that. No. You said no. Stop. You said you're replying to me. I didn't say that.
No. What I'm saying
is no. 1 second. It's not about fairness. is not about humanity. It's about the survival of the fetus. The church and the government and the kings and the bishops and the feudal lords and the men that had land, they had all the power, and all the other men were the bottom of the mother. They was scum of the earth, and they had no
But
power.
the women were not treated as equal. That's the problem with the
men were not men.
Yeah, men weren't treated equal as well. Men always have set up a hierarchy between. That's why do you think the men that are more attractive in society get chosen more than the average guy? It's always been like that. It's a little bit more, it looks more equal in today's society because everybody works and does the same thing. But back in the day, it was way more known and people just understood it. Power has always led society.
They were not treated as equal human beings.
Men were not treated as equal human beings. You're not listening, Jazz.
You shouldn't be able to have access to things just because you're a man, and I shouldn't because I'm a woman. That's not right.
I just want to clear this out. Jess,
that's
please.
Weird.
Jess.
Yo, you don't know what you're talking about because your whole fucking head is filled with a bunch of feminist bullshit.
No,
you don't even understand the history of the damn world.
Definition of patriarchy. You know
that? Yo, chill out. Let's have one mic, please.
Every single what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the clock.
Every single time
I don't want to do this.
Hey, one second, everybody. I know it's just like
I don't want to
talking about.
There's no reason. There's no reason for, once again, now respectfully, for we to be over talking each other. I'm going to put the clock so people can respect each other's time, and everybody has 1 minute. Is that fair with everybody? Is that okay? So we can actually have a conversation. Okay, I'm going to put the clock. Don't overtalk the other person. Jess, you can say what you want and interrupt it. Angryman is going to go afterward uninterrupted. So go ahead and say what you have to say, Jess. Please.
Whole time and she been spewing nothing.
It's fine. If she's committing a mistake, let her do it, and then you go next. Go ahead, Jess.
Yeah, no, I don't understand what we're doing right now. All I'm saying is this: when it comes to what patriarchy is, right, and what it was, the actual definition is rooted in male leadership, moral authority, control of property, and when it comes to like, is it rooted in control of women? There are scholars that believe that patriarchy has historically been rooted in controlling women's autonomy in areas like reproduction, in marriage, in labor. So that's why I was saying, like, y'all are saying that it was there to protect us and guide us, but look at how much it suppressed women just because they were women. So that's all I'm saying. There are women out here that want to be traditional. There are women out here that want to adhere to this rule of submission, but give them the choice to do so. And all I was saying, when this whole indoctrination, and you're right, Angryman, patriarchy can harm men as well, because there's a sense of superiority over somebody else, and we're all equal as human beings. And so all I'm saying is, you can't say that this was it was designed to protect everybody when you deliberately designed it for so long to keep women outside of the same access to the things that you have just because they were women. So it's like, does it protect or does it oppress? It can be both, depending on the perspective, because a patriarchal system often the frame control as protection, but the protection is conditional and reinforces like dependency and limiting a woman's freedom and critical.
Yes, we need to respect the clock. Yes, we need to respect the clock.
I'm sorry, is that the clock? My bad.
I was gonna go after she. I didn't realize. I thought he gave her another minute. It's kind of crazy that you have to go this deep and break down the patriarchy, because women benefit from the patriarchy. Women benefit from men's protection, men's leadership. I don't understand. In today's world, now you've been given the opportunity to do what you want to do, make the money you want to make, and women still not happy. You know, back in the day, men had more control over the autonomy of a woman's body because they did it for the progression of society. I hate to say it, that if you give, in those old societies, to make a society thrive, you have to limit some of the female nature when it comes to a lot of like sex, sexual imagery, things like that can taint a male's mind, and it can corrupt it at a young age, which is why porn can be very damaging to young guys. So that's why they limit and they try and control it. Now, if you're in a free society like the United States and you grown, we're in a melting pot. You can do whatever you want to do. But in some of these growing societies, too much sexual imagery can ruin the mind of youth. So that's why men did it. It was really just for the betterment of society and to protect women from guys who possibly might potentially grape them. It's a lot of things where the patriarchy benefits women, but they just don't really see it like that because they just want to be so independent and free. But it is what it is.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Just consider how I get what you're saying, but it can be harmful to women overall.
Angryman as the mic 1 minute and a half uninterrupted.
Let's hear it.
Yo, you don't know what you're talking about. You're just like every other modern woman that has allowed feminism to fill your head with a bunch of bullshit and nonsense. Number one, the only reason you even have feminism is because the patriarchy gave it to you. Every single right that you have right now was granted to you by men. It wasn't something that you fought for and gained. So get that out of your head. When it comes to the concept of men, men have not been equal. Back in the day, there were men that were slaves. And I'm not even talking about America. I'm talking about before America. There were men that were lords. There were men that were nobles. There has always been a hierarchy. So it wasn't just women that didn't have certain rights. There was men that didn't have certain rights. The entire reason the concept of patriarchy exists is because there's always been a need for certain men to lead because they were stronger men. There's always been a need for men to structure our society, to structure our community. It wasn't until recently that women started saying, oh, we don't have any rights, when really what you were describing was privilege. What you were describing was, if we're on a boat and it's sinking, women and children first. It was a bunch of white women that said, oh, we don't have any rights. We can't do this. We can't do that, which is ridiculous because now you have women complaining about the fact that you have to go to work, complaining about the fact that you have to be independent. So no, patriarchy is not something that you're going to sit here and vilify just because it's something that men created. The whole reason that patriarchy exists is because there has always been weaker people, not just women, but men also, who needed to be protected, who needed structure, who needed a freaking civilization and society to live in. Otherwise, you have anarchy. And if you want to sit here and think that men don't protect women and the patriarchy doesn't protect women, if you didn't have a patriarchy, you would be in a world of shit. You wouldn't be able to walk down the street without having to worry about a man jumping on you and sexually assaulting you. So
dare not just say that. Women benefit more from it than they believe. How do you think we fend off other countries? Invaders, terrorists, people who want to, have ill will towards us. What, even if we take it back, whether we invade villages and tribes, who you think is to protect you from the enemy village? It's going to be men, and it's probably going to be ran through a patriarchal system. There are no matriarchies that exist because men take things by force and power, and that might not sound right, that might sound wrong, but see, women don't want to have to think about the things that men do behind the scenes to keep them safe. They rather be in the bubble. And that's why in America, you can go to Starbucks. You can go get in your nice ass car. You can go get in your big ass house. You can watch this TV show, Sex and the City, or whatever show you watch, and you can enjoy yourself. And you don't have to think about the dangers. You don't have to think about the fears that men have to face every single day who work and deal with these dangerous jobs or protection industries like the military. You don't have to think about that. But men still have to think about that on a day-to-day basis because we don't get anything. Your average guy still has to realize that he's average and know that it's a hierarchy structure, but women don't live that reality because they get an influx of attention consistently.
No, we not gonna do that goofy shit.
He snapped.
I mean, honestly, everything you said.
And Jazz, you have a chance. Jazz,
go ahead.
You have a minute, Angryman has another minute, and we go back to the show, okay? 1 minute, please.
All right, we're gonna hear that and we're gonna end it.
And I don't really need a whole minute, but everything you said just proved my point. I said it can be harmful to women because you're removing the choice, and you just sat here and tried to make it seem like I should be grateful that men decided to give women the choice to choose from themselves when that shouldn't even been something to question in the first place. You just said you think you did something, but men let you get that. Men let you do that. That's the problem. Why did men feel like they needed to allow us to have autonomy of ourselves just because we are women. That's
can I ask you a question?
Dangerous. You don't get a cookie. Hold on. You don't get a cookie to say like to be grateful. No, that you should be ashamed.
We absolutely do get
a cookie. You should be ashamed that most men look at women to subjugate them.
We absolutely do get a cookie. We absolutely do get a cookie because if it wasn't for us, you wouldn't have running water. If it wasn't for us, you wouldn't have a home to live in. If it wasn't for us, you wouldn't have electricity. If it wasn't for us, you wouldn't have a police force. If it wasn't for us, you wouldn't have safety. You owe every single thing you have.
Y'all are not safe. Your name is Angryman. Y'all are not safe.
This comfortable life that you have, you owe it to men.
I just said
period.
Let me ask a question to Jess so we can actually move to the rest of the ladies, right? Hey Jess, I like to say this, right? Just because I'm explaining something doesn't mean that I actually agree with, right? Just because I'm explaining something doesn't mean that I agree with. What is wrong about what he said that men allowed women to do it? Because it's true. One second. Oh, Jess, please, 1 second. Let's do what actually happened in history. I'm
gonna go ahead and let him cook. I'm sorry.
Men and women had terrible lives until 200 years ago. That's the reality. Until the Industrial Revolution, until we have all these vaccines and all these inventions and air conditioner and lights in the street and police officers, most of us lived a miserable life. We would work at 5 years old, right? Like this is what we do. A woman will be in automatic danger if she went outside of her house at 6 p.m. A woman would having 10 kids, 7 kids, 5 kids. They were always pregnant, right? Like a woman will be in a very dangerous position if she was doing what men are doing right now. Now they have the infrastructure. We have the cities. We have the cops, the firefighters, the judges, the air conditioner jobs, the skyscrapers. We have everything for you to do something, right? Yeah. So if I say this, throughout 200,000 years, women were submissive to men because they had to, because there was no other choice.
Yeah.
And now that men made the world safe enough for women, for their daughters, for their mothers, for their sisters to go outside, the men allow women to actually say, you know what? Now we made the world safer for y'all. Y'all can go on your skimpy Fashion Nova dress to a nightclub at 3 a.m. in the morning and feel no. Like, how is that bad if it's actually what happened? I'm just explaining what happened. That doesn't mean I agree with it or not. How are you against that? Like, men literally allowed women to do that.
Women today.
So will you respond to me? Because I would love to answer
Women today live in heaven compared to just 100 years ago.
We live in heaven. Meanwhile, they are overturning women's rights. So we're in heaven.
Just 100 years ago, what women had to live under compared to what you live under now is drastically different. And guess what? The only reason it hasn't improved is because of men.
No.
Period.
So can I respond to what you said?
Answer that. So what is the reason for improvement? Jess, you muted yourself.
Can you hear me? My bad. So let me just explain why, like, saying things like women need to be grateful that we allowed you. It's very fucking problematic.
No,
because it assumes ownership and control.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Angryman, you can't do that. No, Angryman, you can't. Angryman, you can't do that. Angryman, you can't do that.
Man, he gets so mad.
You want your children to be grateful. Do you own them?
Angryman, you can't do that because if she interrupts you, I can't stop her now. If you are going to interrupt her, as soon as she interrupts you, I can stop her. That's very fair. Finish your statement, Jess, and Angryman can respond afterwards, and then we go back to the show. Go ahead.
Thank you, Patty. So like I was saying, so saying things like we allowed you, it kind of frames men as like the gatekeepers of women's freedom, as if like a woman's autonomy is not inherent, just like a man's autonomy is inherent. But instead, it's like a privilege granted by men. That's a patriarchal mindset that oppresses women, right? So it also erases like the women's struggle, because women like historically fought and kind of continue to fight for voting, working, owning property, body autonomy. You see what's going on right now in the country. They are attacking women's health care left and right, regardless of how you feel about it. It's a problem.
Nobody's attacking women's health care. Stop fucking lying. Nobody's attacking your health care. What are you talking about? This shit is crazy.
Hey, Jess.
Yo, Angryman be tweaking. I think I'm gonna end it right here, man, because I don't want this to be too long. The way I don't understand how she can say that by a man saying that he granted you these privileges, that's a problem, because animals can't tell you anything. If an animal go out there and seek dominion over you, if an animal starts effing you up, mauling you to death, you can't say like, oh, please give me some rights, or oh, you giving me this opportunity to live. It doesn't work like that. So just because a man can actually say, I'm giving you the privilege, a man still is stronger than you. Let's say you with a guy, he's stronger than you. Society, women versus men. Men are naturally going to be stronger, but men aren't effed up beings to even want to just have rulership over women. We don't want to do that. We ultimately want to protect women. Now, granted, people are territorial. People are very tribal. So will men want to rule certain areas and communities and groups? For sure. It just happens like that. It is what it is. But to say that, because if a man says that, which men don't even say that because they will be looked as misogynistic, if they say that, it's automatically met with the contention of, oh, that's not even a human right. If an animal F's you up, is it wrong? That animal is acting out as an animal. He cannot explain himself as to why he's effing you up. He's just effing you up because it is what it is. But if a man tells you, hey, you got these privileges because of us, it's so effed up, you shouldn't even feel like that as a human being. It is what it is. I'm not saying it's right. It's just the way how things are structured up. We got to move accordingly. You get around good men around you that actually want to protect you. That's the way how society works. We just feeding you the truth, but I feel like the truth just sounds so messed up. That's why people want to believe the lie and they want to live in delusional land, because delusion sounds better than the truth. And that's the world that we live in. But I'm going to link this in the description so y'all can watch the rest in its entirety. It's very long, so y'all can, listen to it and enjoy the back and forth discourse and see if they get to a common solution. But I'm going to go ahead and cut it right here. Make sure y'all like this video, comment below. This is your guy, JayBReacts. Until next time, y'all. Peace.